How's it going, everybody? My name is John. I'm here with Land Rover Naperville, part of the Patrick Dealer Group in Naperville, Illinois. And today I'm going to be going over the Pivi Pro infotainment system. It is one of the most simplest but feature-packed infotainment systems I've ever seen in a car. So we're going to do a little walkthrough, show you how it works, some of the cool stuff involved. Stay tuned. All right, the Pivi Pro infotainment system. Now, I'm currently seated in a 2025 Land Rover Discovery Sport, and this system is found in all new Land Rover and Jaguar models. So it's going to be featured in a lot of cars, so they wanted to make sure it works very well, which it does. Now, starting off with the basics, this is a brand new car. It's only got 6 miles on it, so no one's messed around and changed any settings yet. So we're starting with a clean slate here. This is your main menu, and you can see that it has these little kind of tiles on it for different things. And that's going to be your mostly used features in the car. So right off the bat, it gives you little shortcuts for your heating and air, heated seats, things like that, as well as your auto stop start, something a lot of people like turning off every time they get in the car. But then you have tiles for navigation, phone, you got your media as well, and then a lot of the kind of more Land Rover specific kind of off-roading settings that they give you as well. Things like compass, the slope descent, and then which wheels are getting traction at any given second. But of course, these tiles are all completely configurable. You can get rid of ones that you're never going to use. You can highlight ones you're going to be using all the time. It's really up to you, and it's really simple to get rid of them. If you do choose to get rid of any of the tiles, it's really simple. All you have to do is just hold down on a tile. It's going to bring up a different menu here, and then you can just uncheck ones that you don't want, and they won't show up on the screen anymore. If you do want to add one back onto the list, all you have to do is simply click on which tile that you want there, and it will get added back into your home screen. There will always be an X down at the bottom left corner to get rid of whatever menu that you're in, and it will take you back to the home page. Starting off in navigation, it's very simple. You just click on the navigation tile there. You can also use voice assist to bring that up as well using a button on the steering wheel. But it's very easy to enter in navigation destinations. All you have to do is just click up at the search bar and then just enter in your address or point of interest, and it will lead you to it right away. Saving your home address is also very simple in the car. All you have to do is just click on the little home with the plus icon on it, and then enter in your home address, and it will get saved into the system. Once your home address is saved into the system, if you do want to go home, all you'd have to do from then on out is just press the voice activation button on the steering wheel and say, "Take me home." It'll load right up into the GPS, and you'll be good to go. It will also, of course, do over-the-air map updates, so you'll always have the current maps loaded up into your car whenever you're ready to go, and it'll save all of your recent destinations there as well. But it will have no problem finding any destination, and it will load up very quickly into the software. It only takes about 5 seconds to find basically any point of interest in the world. Moving on to phone, if you do want to connect your phone into the car using Bluetooth, all you'd have to do is simply hit Connect Phone. You will open up the settings menu on your phone, click on Bluetooth, and then it will find it on your phone there, down at the bottom. There we go, Pivi. It'll have a number at the end. Click on it, you'll hit pair on your phone, press yes on the screen, and it will instantly pair from there, and you'll be good to go for phone contacts and music. Press allow to sync all contacts. Easy as that, and then it will also connect you to Apple CarPlay as well if you so desire. And there we go. After just a couple of seconds, it will load up and it'll bring up your Apple CarPlay. Again, these tiles are also fully configurable. You can do that from the screen inside the car or from your phone as well, but it will bring up all compatible apps in there also. Once your phone is connected to the car, every time you get in the car with your phone from then on out, it will automatically connect and pair your device. If you do want to switch to AM or FM radio, you would just click the little icon down at the bottom here and choose what you'd like to listen to. If you want to switch to FM or AM, it's just simple as pressing a button, but it will default to using CarPlay if you have it connected. To get into your heating and air controls, it's very simple. All you'd have to do is click on the left side kind of shortcuts on there. Right now I have it turned off for sound. But if you do want to adjust the fan speed or the temperature, it's very easy to do. All you have to do is click up or down on the icons there and to adjust whatever you want. It's very simple, and it'll also give you your heated seat options as well. You will also always have shortcuts for your front and rear defrosters. No matter what screen you're on, those shortcuts are always going to stay there as well. You have another shortcut icon on the left side here, and that's going to say mode with a little picture of a car on it. When you press on that, that's going to allow you to switch between your different driving modes. Comfort mode is how the vehicle is going to start every single time. That's kind of your normal all-around driving dynamics. Eco is going to give you your most fuel-friendly settings. That is going to give you a little bit lazier of a gas pedal, and it's going to keep you in the best gear for the most fuel economy. Auto is a little bit more kind of Land Rover specific, and that's actually going to use cameras and sensors in the wheels and looking out in front of the car, and it is actually going to recognize the road ahead and going to optimize the driving dynamics for whatever terrain that you're on. So if you're on a really bumpy road, it's going to soften up the suspension a little bit and give you more stability and traction in those situations. And then of course you have off-road mode, which just takes those into a whole nother level. And this is where you can kind of choose and tell the car what conditions you're driving in. It's always going to start in auto. You do have a grass, gravel, and snow mode for most traction. Muddy ruts is going to be for more kind of muddy situations, obviously, and then sand for sand. One cool thing that Land Rover models have had for quite a while now, but I always think is cool, is the wade sensing mode, where it is actually going to know and recognize how deep of water that the car is in, and it's going to optimize the car for that situation to help you be as good as possible. It will also tell you your max depth that you can drive through. So this car can drive 1 foot and 11 inches underwater, and it will be perfectly fine. Won't lose any traction. It will manage that. Moving on, other shortcuts on the side here. You do have one that will always bring you to navigation with a little arrow. The little plus sign with the circle around it, that's going to be for Apple CarPlay. And then your bottom one that has 4 little squares on it, that one is going to bring you to kind of your main menu, where you get everything kind of all bunched up into one. So you got your navigation settings, your account, that's where you're going to set up your driver's profile, where it's going to recognize you whenever you get in the car. That will also be linked to your key. The seats for saving your seat settings, climate control functions, bring up your cameras. If you have the ability for surround view cameras like this vehicle has, it will bring up and show you all of the different views that you can have. It even has off-road settings for the cameras as well, where it'll show you right in front of the tires and on the sides of the tires to make sure if there's a big rock right next to you, you're able to recognize it. It will also show you where power is being sent at any given moment to each axle. Other features in here, this car also has Android Auto, so if you have an Android phone, it'll be able to connect to that no problem as well, just like with Apple CarPlay. You also have valet mode, where it will lock things like the glove box and the trunk and not let you in. It will also require just a password to get into the car as well, instead of being able to use your key. Other things on here, eco data for knowing how good a fuel economy that you've been getting, your 4x4i, that is going to be, again, more intelligent settings and features for off-roading, letting you know your departure angles, the tilt and pitch of the vehicle as well as your altitude. Right now we're at 712 feet above sea level. Who'd have known? You also have things like low traction launch. So if the car ever gets stuck in a low traction situation, it will actually be able to try to get itself out of that situation using its computers and wheel sensors to make sure that you have as much traction as possible to try to get out of whatever rut you're in. Vehicle dimensions, this one's a little bit more specific to each vehicle that you're in, but it will give you your max height, depth, width, departure angles, again, everything that you need to know for fitting the car into whatever space that it needs to go. It's very helpful for if you're unused to the size of the car, if you just bought it and you're just getting used to it, being able to know exactly how long it is in any situation, and you can switch between units of measurement as well. The voice, again, another shortcut for using the voice activation system. Your phone, which will bring up Apple CarPlay in this instance, since my phone is already connected to Apple CarPlay. Media, going to your music and radio. Again, your wade sensing settings, your traction control settings, and your driver assistance. This is where it's going to allow you to adjust your settings for things like the frontal collision warning, the lane guidance, and your speed limit warning as well. So if you don't like any of those, you want to adjust them, turn them on and off. For instance, for the forward collision warning, I always like to set that a little bit later so it's not as intrusive. You just click on forward collision warning, and then you would be able to choose when it gets activated, as well as what kind of a warning that you want to get. So if you want it to beep at you, it will beep at you. If you don't, it won't. Shortcuts on the right side. This is again going to be for passenger heating and air settings, your volume control for the radio, which you can also do from the steering wheel. Bring up your parking sensors, and then your settings. This is where you're going to set things like the date and time. If you like the dark theme where it's got a darker background at all times instead of a white background. Changing what shows up on the home screen, editing the layouts, adjusting audio settings for things like the equalizer for how much bass you want or treble. And then all of your settings, this is again going into more in depth about every single way to adjust the car, but adding accounts for your driver's profiles, connectivity for Wi-Fi hotspots, vehicle settings for which lights you want to stay on for however long, things like that, your driver safety systems, general for setting things like your date and time or your valet mode PIN number, changing around your languages, things like that, how you want the keyboard set up. You can always add more apps into the car as well, and you can also configure your shortcut button, which is found on the steering wheel, which will allow you to just jump to whatever screen that you want at any given time. This car also does over-the-air updates. It'll take care of that by itself. All you have to do is just get in the car. It'll give you a little prompt, say, hey, you got a new update, do you want to download it? You say yes, and then you'll get things like the latest version of Apple CarPlay or little tweaks, things to help improve the system over time. So overall, the Pivi Pro system is a big win in my book. It is a very nice system for being able to adjust settings and find exactly what you're looking for without digging through too many menus to get to what you want. Again, you don't really have to use the system all that much because you can just use voice activation to find whatever you're looking for very quickly, or just automatically take you to places or play certain radio stations. But it is a very easy software to use and get to know. It only takes a couple of buttons to get to everything that you're using, and the reactivity of the screen is very good. Everything is just happens right away whenever you press on it. It is just a really good system overall. All right, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit something as well. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to answer them. Make sure to also like and subscribe on our videos. Watch another one on the channel too, because that always helps us out. And stay tuned for more videos in the future. Thank you. Have a great day.